I'm a councillor in Bristol, and I think it was probably the best leader speeches I've heard since a young Neil Kinnock.
Great to hear a mention of the Middle East conflict, about the Labour Party's commitment to continuing to try and solve it and placing it as a high priority as a foreign policy goal. In a personal capacity, it was great to hear social justice really high on the agenda, and to hear some fresh thinking about how you approach markets.
The optimism that he showed, and the fact that the way the coalition is talking about the deficit and so on is entirely negative. And he made a reference, for example, which really got home to me, is that we had huge debts after the last war and we were completely broke. But in that period after the war, we didn't just say, oh, we're going to fill up the hole and cut. What we did was create the welfare state and the National Health Service.
I didn't vote for him. I voted for Diane Abbott, and that's the reason I've rejoined the Labour Party, having been out in the wilderness. But I thought the speech was brilliant. I thought he covered everything he needed to do. I think one of the key things to me was his honesty.
He wants to change politics, and I think the way he's doing it is by highlighting what's wrong with it. The media 24 age is good, it keeps us informed, but it has that huge problem, all those nicknames, the things that he was saying that were slanders and slurs, and if we're to change politics we have to move on from that, and I think that's the strongest message he could have said today.
I really like the fact he mentioned climate change, he mentioned benefits, he mentioned like the living wage. It was a lot of issues, it was really good.
I thought it was a really woofy sort of speech, very energising. Couldn't sit down, I still haven't sat down since the standing ovation.
Ed Miliband is bright, intelligent, he can actually connect with the public, and most of all he speaks for the real Labour values, which I think are the real values of the British people.
WinkBall